All right. I'm going to share some of the things I did to beat that helps me beat Walk Off Hero every week. I think Walk Off Hero is one of the better events. I think it's the most fun, especially Monday with the different tiers, and usually Wednesday I'll try to complete it as well. But um, it feels really scripted, and like sometimes you just can't do anything about it. But I think there are some ways to try to mitigate that and really help you be able to beat this and get these players, because Renfro is 325 and then Gallo, obviously. But I had just beaten Classic before I started recording this. I have Renfro down here. That was from beating Classic. I don't think that All-Star is worth it because it's harder and all you get is 4% more chance to get Gallo. So I really don't think that would be worth it. I haven't really tested it that much on how much harder it is, but for me, I mean, you're just getting Renfro pretty much and a slight chance to get Gallo. So every week I've just done Classic. Warm up's all right. Hall of Fame I wouldn't try unless, because I mean I struggled with Classic and this is my team and it's okay, but Hall of Fame, an extra level and it gets really tough. So the first thing that helps out with Walk Off Hero is the abilities. So abilities that are always on is really helpful. So if you look at Garcia, he's usually the one I use on the last tier, hitting power in the 7th inning or later. So you're always getting that boost no matter what who's pitching, or no matter where runners are. So this is one when runners are in scoring position. It helps a little bit. I usually use him second. So I would always pay attention to that. You want your guys with the best abilities going last if they're equal on overall with someone else. So these are my last three. Albies I'll usually put third because he's against left-handed hitters. And that is another thing to keep track of. If, say, you're doing this and the third to last pitcher is left-handed and Ozzy Albies is right-handed, then I want him there. But if Ozzy Albies is, right-handed batter and the pitcher's right-handed batter, then I might put Lowe there and then have Albies go next, and maybe it'll be a left-handed batter. And I think it's the same every single time. So ability is definitely huge in terms of that. My upgrades, I have hitting coach all the way up, trainer. I'm working on that. You want better hits. Another thing that surely helps is the clutch performance in late game situations. I'm not positive, but that's something I've tried to level up, and I seem to be winning more in Walk Off Hero, so I think it has helped me. And then I'm going for In the Zone and Trainer right now. So those have helped a lot. The last thing in terms of like just getting, boosted in percentages is to make sure your team, when you get that boost, that's 15%. So when I got Renfro, the Rays were playing. So surely, I mean, it's an extra 15%. So always make sure you're watching when you get that boost if you really want the player, or pick a team where the time zone isn't so drastic. So if you're on the East Coast, then picking a West Coast team might be tough if you aren't willing to adapt to the time. So I would just pick a team that's usually playing, at least the majority of the games are like their home games, in a reasonable time zone compared to you. All right, I'm just gonna go through level 1 of warm up here, just to kind of show you my strat. Start from the bottom. It's always second from the right if you aren't using your legend. The one on the very left, or second from the left if you aren't using your legend. The one on the very left on the bottom if you are. But Tommy Pham is my first one always. What I always do, I always play at least the first 2, usually the first 3, because most of the time they'll just get this cheap hit over the infield. It'll take like 5 seconds. I don't think it's worth wasting cash on it. And a lot of times you'll get 2,000, so that kind of lets you be able to pay for the auto plays later. So Yelich, he had the boost there from his ability. Just coming handy. But these first 3, I really don't. You could use your worst guys on your team, and I think 95% of the time you're still going to pass it. If they're throwing curveballs like that, I'm pretty sure it's impossible to get hit. It feels like it anyways. Like, especially if they aren't right down the middle. A lot of times you can tell if they want you to get hit or not, which is just part of it. But again, these things should help you at least get more hits. So once I pass 3, a lot of the times I'll just start auto playing. That was close, but especially in these early rounds, auto plays usually work every single time. Once you start climbing like the 4th or 5th level, especially in Classic here, you might have to try it, try it again. But eventually you'll just get all your auto plays to work, and you'll keep moving forward. It does take a while because, that's why I don't think it's worth playing these middle games, because it just takes too much time. If you have the time, then go ahead and play them. But at the same time, you don't want to be spending all day on this just to get a 325 player that you might get in a box next time you open a box. So, all right. So, played the first 3, auto played 4, and then these cost gold to auto play. So, obviously, you don't really want to do that. So Albie's had his boost there, which is nice. And then this will do it. So always try to keep track of left-handed pitchers, especially in the later levels. If you're really getting down to it, you're tired of playing, you just want to get it over with. Make sure at least on the last 3 that you know who, what handed the pitchers are. So I'll go Nate Lowe here. Again, runners in scoring position, so he's boosted. That's not great. And there we go. Again, like that hit right there, you'd never see it if you're playing, someone else or bonus games or whatever. The script is very much written, and you get hits. If you want to get hits, they'll throw you bad pitches if they don't want to get you a hit, and that'll still be strikes, but painting the edge of the strike zone that you can't really hit. And Garcia here, 7th inning or later, so he'll always get the boost. make sure to take advantage of those walks because they're really helpful. And then there's that cheap hit. So these are my tips. I think they've helped me. I've gotten 3 or 4 players now. Just from trying to, upgrade the stuff I need to, look at the boosts. And it really is helpful. So Turner, Albies, and then Keyboom and Renfro now. So I've been grinding them out. Hopefully these tips help. See you next time.